One thing I'm focusing on this week, or like I'm gonna focus on this week, is realizing the parts where I struggle with, the parts that I don't need, that block my productivity, that block my motivation. I have to start realizing these things, and I can. You are also able to realize these things that you almost kind of hurt yourself with, these blocks that you kind of put in yourself. And my goal this week is to look at these things that I don't need. Like, what is blocking me from doing this thing? What is blocking me from creating, from pursuing my passion? This could be like physically, I'm maybe watching too much YouTube or something, or, I'm on my phone too much, or it could be, in my head, like, I don't need to be overthinking because I know it's going to happen. I don't need to overthink about every little detail. I don't have to have everything fully figured out. And I think going into, this week, thinking and going to act on this, I don't need these things that hurt me. I don't need to struggle. I don't need to grieve. I need to leave my past behind. I need to leave the things that I've done in the past that hurt me. I need to leave that stuff in the past, because now moving on forward, I only want like positive things. And at first it might be a little bit scary, or like, what do you mean only positive things? Like, I believe that when you're in the right headspace, and not every day is going to be the greatest, but if you're in the right headspace and you have a goal, like, you will be able to fulfill your life and fill it with mostly positive things. You can't control everything, but the actions you do every day, the thoughts you put into your brain, like, these things can be positive. And I know that I can change my negativity into positive. And this is something I have to work on. I just have to let go of things that need to be let go. Like, I do not need to hurt myself. I do not need to fill myself up with negativity or the space around me. I need to let it go. Let it die. Let it die. I do not need the negative energy in my life. I don't. And you don't need it either. That block that you might put on yourself because you're either too scared, or usually you're too scared. The fear blocks you, and you do something to kind of counteract it and then make an excuse for yourself. So let's say, I'm almost like procrastinating about creating, right? So I'm going to start, eating some food. So, I don't have enough time to work on this because now I'm eating. Just eating in that block, that is a block. Like, eating while procrastinating is a block that you're putting on yourself, because you have a little bit of fear of what you're going to create. You have a little bit of fear of what you can create. And that procrastination kind of like fills your block and fills the blocks that you put on yourself. Obviously, this could be like, some addictions you have or whatever, but you need to recognize them and realize that they are negative, because they are, and you can get rid of them. You can recognize them. You can recognize your blocks, and you need to get rid of them. And that's what I have to do. I've been on my phone a little bit too much again, and I need to lessen that, because I don't need to be on it. I have so much more creative things that I want to do. So I'm going to stop putting that block on myself. I'm going to stop being scared of just creating, because it is scary sometimes. Creating something good is scary, and it's kind of funny, looking at it that way. Like, how can it be scary? But it is. For a lot of creative people, including myself, like, there's a lot of fear into creating, because you always want everything to turn out super good, and you don't know exactly how it's going to start and everything. And I just, you got to leap into it. You have to leap into it. And you can't put blocks on yourself because of that fear. And you have to recognize the blocks that you do put on yourself, because everyone does it. We're all human. We are all not perfect. So of course, our procrastination kind of fulfills us in some way, because then we can do a block that is more rewarding in the short term. Like, oh yeah, now I can just eat food and not have to worry about this. But in the long term, you know that you should be working. So that short term, itch you have, you want to eat food or whatever, your addiction, just take a minute and really think about it, because a lot of the time you can recognize your block and you do not need to do it. Face the challenge you have. Face it, because I guarantee you will win, and it will always turn positive. You're scared of creating. You're scared of getting started. Take a minute, write down why you're scared. Really go through it, because a lot of the time it's very surface level. Oh, I don't know how I'm going to get started. Like, just start. And there's literally no other advice I can have for you. Or, oh, I don't know about this end product. I'm scared of creating because the end product is going to be bad. You're already setting yourself up for failure. You can create things and just have fun. And I have to do that more, is just have fun. Like, not everything needs to be totally perfect and streamlined and, oh, it's going to work out this way. Like, no. Let me just enjoy it, have fun, live in the moment, because we can all do that. And it's sometimes scary to do that, to have fun and really just enjoy what we're doing, because we always feel like putting in this work has to feel like work, but it doesn't. Creativity is very fun. It's very just rewarding, because you're just putting whatever's in here onto a piece of paper, and it's great. So recognize your blocks, recognize the things that are negative in your life, let go of it. This is what I have to do this week. Let go of things that I know hurt me, because you do not need to struggle. You do not need to grieve. You can move on, and you can become a more positive, better person. It is scary. It is scary to even get started on this. But trust me, let it go. Let it die. Because you can move forward. These steps that you're going to put in place, it's going to be very rewarding. You will get that abundance that you want, okay? The universe will always be by you, and you will win. You will win. Don't be afraid to face the facts, because you will be reborn. You will be more positive. So let go of that bad shit, okay? Let go of the negativity. You do not need it. Move forward with positivity and work on yourself. These blocks you have, they do seem great in the short term, but deep down, and in the long term, they're not going to help your situation and your dream. So let's work this week and not struggle. Let go of it. See you guys tomorrow. Peace.